Find more questions and study at your own pace on our website. The link will be in the description. Let's get started. Question 1. You need to recommend a solution to generate a monthly report of all the new Azure Resource Manager resource deployments in your Azure subscription. What should you include in the recommendation? Option A, Azure Log Analytics. Option B, Azure Arc. Option C, Azure Monitor Metrics. Option D, Azure Monitor Action Groups. To generate a monthly report of all the new Azure Resource Manager resource deployments in your Azure subscription, Azure Log Analytics is the recommended solution. Azure Log Analytics can collect and analyze logs, including activity logs, which track all resource deployment and management operations. By sending activity logs to a Log Analytics workspace, you can build queries and generate comprehensive reports on new resource deployments. Question 2. You are designing an application that will aggregate content for users. You need to recommend a database solution for the application. The solution must meet the following requirements: support SQL commands, support multi-master writes, guarantee low-latency read operations. What should you include in the recommendation? Option A, Azure Cosmos DB SQL API. Option B, Azure SQL database that uses active georeplication. Option C, Azure SQL Database Hyperscale. Option D, Azure Database for PostgreSQL. Azure Cosmos DB SQL API meets the requirements as it supports SQL commands, offers multi-master writes, and guarantees low-latency read operations. Cosmos DB is a globally distributed multi-model database service that enables both writes and reads in multiple regions, leading to high availability and low latency. This makes it the suitable choice for applications that require distributed data with robust performance and reliability. Question 3. You plan to migrate App One to Azure. You need to recommend a network connectivity solution for the Azure storage account that will host the App One data. The solution must meet the security and compliance requirements. What should you include in the recommendation? Option A, Microsoft peering for an express route circuit. Option B, Azure Public Peering for an express route circuit. Option C, a service endpoint that has a service endpoint policy. Option D, a private endpoint. To securely connect to an Azure storage account while meeting security and compliance requirements, the best approach is to use a private endpoint. Private endpoints allow Azure services, such as Azure Storage, to be securely accessed over a private IP address within the VNet, eliminating exposure from the public internet. This solution confines the network traffic to a private link on the Microsoft backbone network, thus ensuring a higher level of security and compliance. Question 4. You need to design a highly available Azure SQL database that meets the following requirements. Failover between replicas of the database must occur without any data loss. The database must remain available in the event of a zone outage. Costs must be minimized. Which deployment option should you use? Option A, Azure SQL Database Hyperscale. Option B, Azure SQL Database Premium. Option C, Azure SQL Database Basic. Option D, Azure SQL Database Serverless. Azure SQL Database Premium is the optimal choice to fulfill the requirements of zero data loss during failover, high availability during zone outages, and cost minimization. Premium tier provides active geo-replication and automatic, data loss-free failover, ensuring that the database remains highly available even in the event of a zone outage. Question 5. You are developing a sales application that will contain several Azure cloud services and handle different components of a transaction. Different cloud services will process customer orders, billing, payment, inventory, and shipping. You need to recommend a solution to enable the cloud services to asynchronously communicate transaction information by using XML messages. What should you include in the recommendation? Option A, Azure Notification Hubs. Option B, Azure Queue Storage. Option C, Azure Blob Storage. Option D, Azure Application Gateway. Azure Queue Storage provides a reliable messaging solution for asynchronous communication between different components of an application. It allows messages, including XML messages, to be stored in a queue and processed later by the receiving service. This enables cloud services to asynchronously communicate transaction information effectively. That's all for today's video. Don't forget to check out our website where you can find more questions for this exam. The link will be in the description. Thank you for watching and good luck on your exams.